let's get my next guest out. I loved her in N-Dub. She was great on The X Factor, and it's wonderful to see her back on top after the difficult year she's been having. Here to tell us all about it, it's Tulisa, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see you again. Great to see you. You met James. Here's Boris. Come and sit on there.
Hello, how do you do?
There you go.
Hiya.
Sit down on that couch. Great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on. OK,
too.
let's deal with the big story out of the way first if we can.
OK, we're jumping in there. Woo.
Well, I think so. It's, you know, because that's what's on all our minds. What a year you've had, what an ordeal you've been through. I mean, let's sum this up then. As I understand it, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, is you were offered a film part, or you were asked to audition for a film part, and it was a tempting offer, and it's by a gentleman pretending, who used to work for the News of the World, then it became the Sun on Sunday, of course.
Yeah.
He was pretending to be a Bollywood producer.
Yeah.
Offering you a certain kind of role. This was a guy who's been known properly as the fake sheikh, is that right? And then they were asking you whether you could find some drugs for them, and they were filming and taping these meetings.
Well, no, it was a whole 4-month sting, so it started way back. I wasn't a professional actress, so they said, you know, Keira Knightley's up for the job. If you want to get this job, rather than show off your acting skills, you kind of have to go in for a formal audition. So if you make out to them, you are that girl.
So they want you to come in acting like you were.
Yeah, and playing off the rebellious character that I'd had in the press via N-Dubs, the feisty British female.
To act, and act like someone who was familiar with drug and how to get drugs.
Exactly, and there's like a big point in the tapes where I start off and I go in and I'm kind of just basing my story on basics. So I'd had a court case with an ex-boyfriend ages ago, so I speak briefly about that. And then it goes from, you know, oh, I once was in a court case with my ex and smoked a bit of weed when I was younger, to I used to sell crack. And you hear the dramatic...
And you're coming out as a character saying...
precisely.
OK. Let me... Boris has admitted in the past to have snorted icing sugar.
It may have been icing. I don't recommend it.
I don't know what it was.
It may have been icing.
But, and we've eaten our fair share of icing sugar, haven't we, James? So,
bloody damn right, I'm afraid.
What did he dress like? When he was being a Bollywood producer, I've seen this guy dressed as a sheikh, and of course he wears the gear you would expect, but when he was dressing as a Bollywood, what kind of outfit was the Bollywood producer wearing?
He was very much just a smart businessman wearing a suit, you know, like yourself. You would never have...
So what did that do for you as a person when that happens to you? What do you go through, and how do you deal with being arrested? What happened to you? How did you deal with that?
It's hard because I don't want to like sit here and dwell on things. I know, like you said, it's the big pink elephant in the room. We've got to talk about it.
It's a pink elephant?
It's an expression, the pink elephant
in
the room.
It's just an elephant. I think you can be pink if you want.
Maybe it's
depends what you
my
take.
flamboyant side coming out. The pink elephant in the room.
Depends how much icing sugar you've had.
I genuinely had my ups and downs throughout the year. I had moments when I woke up in the morning and was like, I can do this, I'm going to get through this, I'm going to come back bigger and better than ever. And then there were days where I was literally crying my eyes out on the bathroom floor with a bottle of vodka. I mean, it really did vary on the day, the moment, but I would say my overall approach to the situation was to stay strong. And I knew in my mind I had to stay strong. I didn't really have a choice. And, you know, I don't want to sound like a, you know, bit of a Bible basher all to their own, but I am a religious person and I am spiritual, and for me it did feel like it was just one big test that God was throwing at me to kind of give me a bit of a wake-up call, a year of enlightenment, and put my life into perspective.
Well, that's what an incredible way to look at that, and ladies and gentlemen, I think it's really remarkable for you to be able to do that. And, you know, what a horrible thing to go through. So you are back. You've got a new single out as well. This is called Living Without You. So is this about someone in particular, or is it about generally the idea of being after a breakup?
Do you know what? The funny thing is that when I first heard the song, I loved everything about it, musically, the beat, the production, and the lyrics was, like, the one thing that bugged me, because I was like, if I had a breakup, I would never deal with it like that. There's quite a big level of desperation in the song. So, no, it wasn't about a guy for me, but then I thought about it and I was like, do you know what? It actually relates to the year I've had and my relationship with the fans and the music, and not being able to do what I loved, which was be on stage and sing and to write songs. And so it was kind of like living without your love, as in the music.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I related
Something
to.
was taken away from you.
Yeah.
You maybe got it back. OK, so this is Living Without You. It's out 4th of January. Have a look at this. Tulisa is back. It's going to be bigger than ever before. It's great you're back, and I'm thrilled you've been through. And when it was going on, I just thought this is hideous, and I'm glad that it seems to have worked well for you.
Thank you.
And you've come out of it stronger than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, Tulisa. Thank you so much for being here. Stick around here. Stick around here.